Can we have a real adult conversation? Well, to be quite honest, that's pretty much the only type of conversations I have, because, you know, I guess what I mean is there's just a lot of stuff that, you know, people are afraid to talk about as if they have somebody to answer to. And there's just some things that people refuse to talk about. You know, I can be a controversial person. I'm not a shit starter. I'm not a troublemaker, and I wouldn't consider myself a controversial person, but I can be controversial in regards to controversial topics, right? So, you know, I'm not a clout chaser. I'm not looking for clout or whatever. I connect with, you know, who I connect with. I vibe with who I vibe with, people that resonate with the messages. Those who are like-minded, those who have similar goals and ambitions, things like that. I've never been the type that, you know, wanted to do something because I'm just like attention thirsty, or, you know, super like, you know, on a certain wave of trying to get a certain type of attention, or, you know, the whole cloud chasing and things. I would rather have a small circle of genuine souls that vibe with me and love me genuinely for who I am than to be in the company of fake individuals, you know. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about, I said that because me trying to multitask. So I said that because, you know, what I'm about to talk about, and the topic I'm about to bring up, a lot of people are talking about it and they're doing it for clicks, likes, and views and things, and it's not something that's always on my mind or what I think about daily, or I'm gonna post a video regarding the topic every day because, you know, I need some likes or whatever, and that's just not the case. That's not the deal with me. But what I wanted to talk about is that whole, you know, my thoughts on the whole P. Diddy thing. I truly and honestly believe, I just wanted to share my thoughts. You know, maybe some people won't vibe with it. Maybe some people don't want to hear about it, whatever. They can keep it to themselves. But I'm sure that there is, you know, some like-minded individuals. There's some individuals that will, you know, chime in or want to vibe with the message or whatever, or even like-minded individuals. But there's some things I've really been thinking about that I really want to get off my chest. I understand that there are individuals that really vibe with old boy, and they are fans, and they, you know, that's their whole right, and that's them. You know, I've never been a Diddy fan, never. I've always been a Pac fan. So I just want to say that I've never vibed with him or whatever. I probably have like two or three songs on my playlist with old boy. But like I said, I've always been a Tupac fan, and I know that Tupac was beefing with Diddy, and it's not like, oh yeah, well, you know, you say like, you know, you are a Tupac fan as if y'all was friends. No, I was one of them diehard Tupac fans growing up, and even in my adult age, I'm still a Tupac fan. And I respect the brother, just everything about him and the craft and everything, his essence, his just the vibe, his nature, everything, his messages. I vibe with Pac. So I'm the type of individual like, no, Pac wasn't family or like a friend or whatever. But when you like a, you know, when you're a fan, and when we connect with people and we really have love for these idols and these individuals, it's almost like you feel like almost as though they are your you know, your friend or your family. So I said that to say that because I was a Pac fan and I was not a Diddy fan, you know, it was one of them deals where, why would I be a Diddy fan when I'm rocking with Pac? Very loyal person, very loyal fan. So that's the angle that I came from with it, you know. I'm a Pac fan. Why would I be a fan of Diddy, right? I didn't really mesh with him too well. And then as an individual who read people, or let me say like read energy or whatever, right? And sometimes you have that you know, some of us, we have the gift of being able to read certain people, and you know, a lot of us have these basic abilities and gifts to where we can, you can read somebody. You should have a basic, capability of being able to read somebody or call BS, right? When you could tell somebody is good for you, they bad for you, you could say, there's something about this individual that just isn't right? That's the vibe that I've always gotten from old boy. That there was something that was fishy about him, that something was not right, and it didn't sit well with my spirit. And then I always thought he was a goofball. I thought that, he always was, bopping or whatever you call it, and he was just like bopping and vibing to certain individual, his artists, their music, their craft or whatever. And he come put out a song or whatever, and he just sitting there just doing this so silly ass bop. Like, I always felt like he was goofy. Like, this isn't a video of a hate Diddy video, but I'm just saying, like, people, they like to jump on certain bandwagons, especially if it's popular that somebody is hating on somebody. Everybody want to voice their opinion and talk about, oh yeah, well, we dislike this person, dislike that person. It's like, really? So you wasn't vibing with him before? Well, I'm one of them, and I'm one of those individuals that was never vibing with him. And it was on a energetic level or even on a spiritual level. I called bullshit a long time ago. Sometimes you get these you get this inclination, or you get this insight of like, man, there's just something not right about this individual, So yeah, I never rocked with dude, and I never vibed with him. And then when it comes to the artistry, I just don't feel like, oh yeah, you're an original. Nah, like, you sitting there bopping and you vibing to your artist stuff and probably stealing their stuff. And some people are haters, and when an individual feel like their fellow human's life is not worth shit, but they will sell you out for a bag, that's a piece of shit to me. You're a shit bag. You're not worth anything to me. I don't care how much money that you have. If your character ain't shit, you can't be trusted. You're cunning, conniving, you sneaky, you do foul stuff undercover, and you will sell out anybody for a bag. They life don't matter. Like, you pretty much are less than an animal at that point to me, right? But there's a lot of people that are speaking about old boy now, and it seems as though they feel safe and comfortable to do it. But a lot of people knew what he was doing. They knew that he was a devil. I know a devil when I see one. And I feel like when you do things that you have no business doing in life, and when you do some of the most unacceptable demonic shit in life, you have to give and counter that. And yeah, I feel like he's getting what he deserved. He's getting the karma that he had due to him, just as all of us will if we move a certain type of way. And like I say all the time, I telling you what God love, it's just the honest to God truth. Nobody is an exception to the rule. Spiritual laws, universal laws, all of the above. So, you want to act like you want to play God and act like you some type of, some type of a God where you could just do what you want to do. And you're not going to have to give an account of it. Well, you got another thing coming. And people trying to defend this man, and they're trying to say, well, I don't have these qualifications and those qualifications and da-da-da-da-da. You got common sense, don't you? Hopefully, because, common sense isn't common. But no, I don't feel bad for him, and I wasn't rocking with him before. I'm not rocking with him now. True Pac fan, loyal individual here. So, I feel as though when you engage and play demonic games, and you play with what the Christian faith call the devil, when you engage in those type of behaviors and you do those certain type of things, then hey, you get what you got coming to you, now don't you? And that's just what it is. So, when it comes to Pac, and when it comes to Notorious B.I.G., and when it comes to Kim Porter and the countless names and all of these people, whether it's been proven or not, I think that people are speaking from the grave. I think that people do so much dirt and it's going to catch up with them. And I think that there's a lot of dirty stuff that happened on the low that needs to be, that old boy needs to give account of. And I think that, you know, the time has come. So that's where I'm at with it. I don't think that he deserves a pardon. I think that what he needs is to have what he has coming to him, all of the things that he deserved, right? What's, you know, everything in the dark comes to the light. So that's what time it is. And yeah, that's really what time it is. Like, what goes around comes around. It's just as simple as that.